Yo, it would not be the same if I did not start with the signature smile. Listen, tonight we have an amazing show because we have an amazing guest with us joining the Hindonda show tonight. Welcome in TD Phins Talk. That's right. He is here tonight in the building to preview the upcoming game against the Ravens and the Dolphins. TD, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. We both have a short week, and here we go. We're going to war on Thursday night. It's going to be a great game. Ravens fans come down to Miami on the road, get to travel, come down to South Beach, have some fun, so that they cannot be so depressed from the loss they're going to take. But yeah,
TD with the delusions already. I'm telling you, we gonna talk about this game, but TD,
mm,
look, I just got to tell you how I learned about your channel and how I started watching your channel was last time we played each other.
mm,
The Ravens kind of put a beat down on the
mm.
Dolphins. I mean, it was 50 something, just in the 50s. Okay. Once you get past 40, you don't even worry about what the score. You just know it was in the 50s. And you guys were somewhere down in the teens. It was just that bad. But anyway,
Old team.
that's okay. I was on YouTube that day or that evening and I said, oh, now look at this person throwing things and yelling at the screen and just going off about the Ravens. And I said, let me tune in. And ever since then, I've been watching your channel because, you put out excellent content, amazing content on the Dolphins. So keep up the good work. And it's tough, I'm sure, being in your
Well,
shoes with the Dolphins.
it's not that bad, okay. But I will say this. Thank you for watching me. I'm shocked though that the last when you first heard of me was that game because you missed the one before that when
Well,
Tua
we're
had
not going to
six
bring up old stuff.
touchdowns. And now we're not bringing up old stuff. Okay, so we always flip flop. We beat up on y'all beat up on us. It look like it's our turn. So yeah, we're gonna be good in this one.
Yeah, we got to listen. This is going to be a fun game because both teams, wow, I didn't think I would be saying this, right? Both teams are 2 and something. We just had
Wow.
our bye.
Yeah.
So both teams are only in the win column twice so far this season. But all of that is about to change come Thursday because one of us, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be you, is going to be in the 3-game victory column. So anyway, TD.
Mm,
So let
mm.
me ask you this.
Confidence.
Talking about your team going into this season, how did you feel about changes that you made during the offseason? How did you feel about the Dolphins entering
Uh,
2025?
Going into the season, I was not very optimistic about the Miami Dolphins. To be quite honest with you, I'm one of those individuals who, have been living in reality for the last few years with the team. So I know who we are. I know what we are. We have a quarterback that's good enough not to be good enough, which means he's good. I mean, he's going to always make plays and do things, but does he have any carry ability? And I'm not so sure about that. We're going to always need to play great team football. Unlike Baltimore, if the team ain't playing well, there's moments where Lamar can put them on his back, and that's what you call a franchise quarterback. Um, so my optimism wasn't very high coming into the season. I felt like we were in a reset, rebuild year, and we have about a year or two more to go of that before we're back to competing again, to be quite honest with you.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean we can't win games. That doesn't mean we can't any given Sunday, win a game because we still have a good team. They haven't been playing like it. Last week they played pretty good. Matter of fact, it was their best game all season. They played amazing all 3 phases of the game, of the football game. They balled out. So I like that momentum for the Baltimore game at home.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. Talk about Tua's most recent performance. So he had a very good game last week, but a week before that, how many interceptions did he have in that one game? I think it was
Three.
3 or
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, well, 4 turnovers, but three interceptions
Three
that game, and
interceptions.
then the week before 3 more.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I mean, he had a rough go at it. Remember, there's some changes on the team. The offensive line struggling. You got Tyreek Hill out for the season. But Tua, that's why I say, I'm a realist about Tua. A lot of people don't like me because of it, but
Mm.
the reality is he's a good quarterback, but good ain't good enough in this NFL anymore at that position, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
And you gotta have some version of carry ability. in this league now if you really want to have a chance to win. So that's where we are with Tua. He's going, he has turnovers, but you know what? Tua don't turn the ball over, we win games. If he don't turn the ball over, we win games. That's just the reality. So that's why this week is important for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, but does his, I guess, the good game that he had over the weekend, does that give you any confidence in his ability to really carry this team this season?
No, not at all. This is who Tua Tagovailoa is. You play a team 500 or below, he's going to give you those. Now, are you going to show up against the teams that are above 500 or real competitors? Like, the Ravens are legit. They just have their downfall right now. But, these games right here, are you going to show up? Are you going to show up and show out and play at a high level like franchise quarterbacks do? So it's games like this one and games versus like Buffalo and things like that in the division that's going to tell me if maybe he's turned the corner and I can believe now. But until then, no, I really don't have the full confidence because he's going to have more games where he does not look good.
Wanted to say hello to everyone who's already joining the chat. Thanks for being here, hanging out with us. Make sure you hit the like button. Do that for me. And I see Rogue Pot is in here. Hendo, people are asking, why you not up here on stage, to give TD Phins Talk a fit? Hendo is on his way to work. He is on his way to work. But we'll definitely have to have TD Phins Talk back, I don't know when, but sometime soon so that Hendo and TD Phins Talk can get together and just really talk ball. But so let me ask this, and we're going to move on from Tua. Take a stand. What is your thoughts about Tua being your quarterback of the future, your franchise QB?
He's done in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa is done in Miami. A lot of people don't understand what's going on, what was put around him, what was invested in him. The general manager's on the hot seat. That's a big reason as well. Never got it right. But again, when you don't have any carryability, you're always getting hurt, or a distraction now, you can't, on the podium, just it's kind of over in my opinion, but the Miami Dolphins may use him as a bridge next year where it doesn't seem like it's over because the contract means he's going to be in Miami probably at least one more year unless they decide to do the Russell Wilson effect and just eat a large cap number. So Tua will be the Miami Dolphins quarterback in 27. It's just hard to see that he'll be after they did not restructure the contract when they needed to get more money to make the team better. Everything's been shut off. The credit card's been cut up and said you can't use it anymore. So that's where we are.
All right. Let's get into this matchup, right? Let's talk about this game. So one thing about the Ravens, and I'll say it, is our offensive line has just not been that great. Okay, some might even say it's pretty bad. It's kind of terrible. But who is your game wrecker on your D line that we need to really pay attention and be, kind of afraid of, not afraid, but kind of watch out for?
That's very interesting. That's an interesting question for a lot of reasons. Right now, the Miami Dolphins are considered on paper to have a pretty good defensive front, but this season they have been bad, except last week. 2 days ago. They went off. They absolutely went off like we've been asking for them to do all season. But the notion Atlanta changing up the quarterback and all of that stuff is just a shift. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but this pass rush doesn't get there enough. And with Lamar coming back, which I believe that's about a 99.9% chance at this point, with Lamar coming back, the Miami Dolphins have never really done well against mobile quarterbacks. So even though the offensive line for the Ravens haven't done great, you also haven't had Lamar. But they haven't done great with Lamar either because I've seen him early this season running more than like panic back there more than he usually is. So I don't know if you all have corrected that, but our pass rush, they're going to create pressures, but sacks, you might get them twice just because, but not dominant sacks like, we're wrecking havoc today. You're going to get a lot of pressures, but that could actually hurt us because he can take off.
Yeah. Well, kind of me just as a fan, and I don't want Lamar Jackson back there taking off. I don't want him having to scramble out of the pocket and having to run. He's coming off of a hamstring injury. And the
Yeah.
last thing that the Ravens can afford is an aggravation or a re-injury. So
Mm.
my hope for Lamar Jackson is that Todd Monken dials up a game where we can get the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands quickly. We can feed our running backs, which we're going to talk about in a second. That is what I think we need to do, as opposed to relying so much on Lamar as we have always done, especially knowing this is his first game back. But with that, I mean, how do you slow down Lamar Jackson? What's your answer? Who is your answer?
Well, slowing Lamar Jackson down, you don't do. It's not what we're going to do. I think Miami, like you said, they're just going to try to sell out on the run and play sound zone, potential zone defense, and just see who makes the mistakes, who has the penalty to get you behind the sticks and things of that nature. But you don't stop Lamar Jackson, and even if you do stop him, you did it by coincidence, like just, oh man, we stopped him. Wow, like you didn't have a game plan to really stop a Lamar Jackson in this league.
Yeah.
But what you do is try to stop everything around him, so that life is harder for him and make him second guess whether he needs to do more or less. Then, get you in that guessing game, and then it's just like head scratching. And you all know what that's about. I've seen Ravens games where they've literally, have been confused all game. It's like, man, it's like they're hitting us with the counter and we can't get it together. So that's what you want to get them in, but it's just rare. So hopefully we can.
You made an interesting point here. So the kind of like the theory of how the Dolphins can perhaps win this game is to kind of like stifle or slow down the weapons around him. So I'll start with obviously Derrick Henry. With him, if you get him beyond that first line of defense, it's really hard to bring him down. Tackling Derrick Henry, there guys out there are going to make business decisions. What's your answer for Derrick Henry?
So we just shut down Bijan Robinson. But this is Derrick Henry.
I was just going to say.
And, I think this game is going to come down to this. Who imposes their will in the trenches early and find out who backs down early. And that's going to be it right there. Like if you guys come out literally punching, when we're not a good run defense, we just shut down Bijan Robinson and finally had a good run D game. We've been ran all over this year, like 200 and stuff. So, I mean, in almost every game except last week. So I know Harbaugh's going to be handing the football off in this game. And yeah, y'all are going to, I mean, it's malpractice if you don't.
But that's what we specialize in.
Yeah,
anyway,
you're right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, at least you'll know it's malpractice if you don't at least come out and attempt to see if we're about business that day, because we have not been about business more than we have. So I think they'll come out, they'll hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and as long as he's getting 4+, they're going to keep doing it. And then once we get punched in the mouth, it's going to be open season. But if we match that intensity and show the better early, we're going to be fired up, and we're going to really attack that run game. We sold out on Bijan and held him to like 24 yards, which is unreal. And so Derrick, I think we're going to sell out on the run with him as well. So here's the deal. Like, I can tell you now, the perfect game plan for the Baltimore Ravens against the Miami Dolphins is simple.
Write this down.
Hand the ball off early. If you see that we're selling out, allow Lamar Jackson to run free for a quarter and a half. It's going to break us out of it because y'all are probably going to be scoring points because you play action, Andrews, and we're not great against the tight end. So when that's happening, we're going to get out of that run D, and that's whenever Derrick Henry comes to work. So it's just a matter of how you play it early on. When you identify what we're trying to do you counter right away and take us out of our game? So we'll see. This is going to be a coaching battle, believe it or not.
Yeah. Oh, don't say coaching battle, because that kind of just sets me off a little bit, because I think I have strong opinions about our coaching staff right now.
Leave Harbaugh alone, man.
Oh, I wish we could. Can we leave him in Miami? Well, we'll talk about coaching in a minute. We're going to talk about coaching in a minute. We're going to talk about coaching in a minute. But one unsung hero that I think the Baltimore Ravens have that we have kind of underutilized this season, but at least in the last game, it was good to see him, is Keaton Mitchell. That running back right there has a
Mm.
burst of speed that I don't know that the Dolphins have prepared for, or if you do prepare for it, how do you prepare? Because with Derrick Henry, you understand that he's that big bully running back that who's just going to like plow over you. Keaton Mitchell is an excellent complement to him. He's going
So
to he's going to be able to just you're going to blink your eyes and he's already downfield. What do you
so
do?
question about him. Has he taken a piece of the reps, or he's still just getting his normal rotation?
I don't think he's getting a normal rotation
He's
because
getting more.
no, he was getting so
Mm.
much less. That's why I'm saying that's why I'm calling him an unsung hero because we have underutilized him. He had a very gruesome injury. He fought his way back from an injury. And I thought, wow, okay, Keaton Mitchell is fully healthy. We're actually going to use him properly. We're going to incorporate him more into our scheme. We haven't. We really haven't. He gets a few carries here and there, a few
Mm.
touches here and there. You see him, sprinkled in intermittently during the game, but it's nothing consistent. So I don't know if he will be used, but my hope is that he will, because number one, it gives Derrick Henry a little bit of a breather, because I think we need to rely on him, like you said, heavily. But he's a guy who, if you are the opposing team, you're not really thinking a lot about him.
Mhm.
He's kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot he was around. But
Yeah, if you have
in that split moment, he's already downfield, taking it to the house.
yeah, if y'all have one of those that could really throw us off, putting them in opportune moments. I think guys like that are better utilized on like 2nd and 8, where you think you bring Derrick Henry out, you put him in, you think, obvious pass situation, and you actually run the football or something. So I'm not as familiar with this game, so I'm going to be looking out for him and see if check him out just so that I'm more versed on that. Because if I hear about talent around the league, I want to make sure I'm not left behind. So thank you for that. I had no idea y'all had another back putting in work.
Oh, he's putting in the work big time. And the sad thing is, I hear rumors, obviously trade deadline is approaching and people are saying, well, you've got Keaton Mitchell and he has a lot of stock, a lot of value. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to
Yeah,
even
you don't
think
trade
about it.
that. Then. Yeah.
No, 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 no. You can have our tight end. You can have Mark Andrews. People call him Drop Drews, the guy who just doesn't show up in the big moments. You call him whatever you want. Don't take Keaton Mitchell. But we don't use him enough, or we haven't used him enough this season. Again, last game was a little bit different. We saw more of him, not enough that I would have liked, but I'll take what we can get. But, what is one under the radar matchup that you think that could be a game changer for the Miami Dolphins?
One matchup. Oh man, this is interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta go with the guy who's been carrying for weeks now. I just, can your linebacking core get at Devin A-Chain?
Mm,
I think he has a explosive game. He's just a good back. He start like I used to always say he's a small back, so I don't know if he's gonna last. And it's not like he breaking tackles, but now I'm seeing him actually slide through tackles. A smaller guy, but there's enough power downstairs where you're not wrapping him up as easy. It's almost like a big back, but in a small body. But his speed and his playmaking and how we have specific plays that we can dial up for him, and you get him one-on-one on the outside in the open field, he can make plays all day. So I'm loving what I'm getting from A-Chain. The only thing about him, I just wonder if he's going to last in this league,
mm,
because the Dolphins going to use him a lot for the next few years. But
yeah.
that's the guy you want to worry about. That's the guy who can come through clutch for us and give y'all headaches all day.
Mm. Well, I was going to switch sides in a minute, but we'll talk about it now. Our defense. So one thing about our defense, and you alluded to it earlier, to me, a win in football really begins in the trenches on both sides. If you don't have a strong offensive line, if you don't have a very strong get at them defensive line, I mean, you're just kind of leaving your team out there dawdling, right?
Yeah.
But our ability to stop the run, it has improved, but it has been an area where I would have liked to see even more. one thing that we do as the Ravens, we struggle to defend the middle of the field. So if you have tight ends that you rely on, that's where our linebackers really, and we've been without Roquan Smith. And some people might say, well, even before Roquan Smith got injured, he really wasn't doing much. They call him Slowquan nowadays. But if we can really just kind of have, and we have some serious losses on our D-line. Nnamdi Madubuike, he was kind of, I'm going to say he was our best D lineman, and now he's out for the season. And I saw today a tweet where another one of our D linemen, Broderick Washington, he's going to be out. He's having surgery. But like you said, A-Chain is a problem. And the Ravens are going to need to have an answer for A-Chain. And I don't know what that answer is right now. It's just really going to have to be, hey, we're going to have to step up at D-line, and we're going to have to step up in our linebackers are going to have to get it done. Hold A-Chain, sit him down, don't let him get the hot hand, and that's it. Because other than A-Chain, who else, as you mentioned, Tyreek's out. You got Waddle. You still have Waddle, but who else is your real playmaker for your offense?
Yeah. There's no other real playmakers, but there's a bunch of guys that can make the one or two plays in the game. So that's what it comes down to. The scary thing for the Dolphins in this matchup, one thing I've learned over the last few years versus Baltimore, they understand how to play us. So they're not going to care. I don't think Harbaugh's going to care about A-Chain trying to go off. I think they'll do well against the run, but we'll still break a few here and there, but they'll do well enough because Ravens play us the same way every time because they know they want to put the game on Tua. They're going to clog the middle. Like you say, you're not good in the middle, but it doesn't matter in this game because Harbaugh's going to clog the middle so they ain't got to worry about being good in it because that's where Tua wants to throw the football, in the middle. He's going to say, Tua, beat us outside all day. We're giving you the outs. We're giving you the digs. We're giving you the posts. We're giving you these outside the number routes. If you take them and you hit them consistently all day, you win. And that's how Harbaugh plays us every time. And we lose a lot that way. So it's going to be on Tua. He's going to have to be able to make the throws outside. Watch how many sideline passes you see in this one.
Okay, I'll pay attention. Darren Waller, is he playing this game?
No, Waller is on IR.
Yeah, I thought he was. Out. But hey there, Jay the Six. Thanks for everybody else who's just joined us. Appreciate you. Even our trolls. I appreciate you. Got to pay the troll toll. I'm not displaying your comment unless you pay for that. But make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And if you have any questions for TD Phins Talk, I'm going to filter them first. But if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the chat. I appreciate him coming, hanging out with us, talking about this game. But let me ask you this. So in terms of our secondary, that's,
y'all gonna have a long day.
Wait. I ain't saying we're gonna have that long of a day. Don't make it sound like that. I mean, we coming up. Okay. We trying to build on that. We working on it. But why do you say that it's going to be a long afternoon for our secondary?
It's not like here. Like I always, when I break a team down, I always put myself in the shoes of that team. So I'm a Dolphins fan through and through, but I like to just say, okay, if I am a Ravens fan, what would I want to see and all that in this game, knowing the Dolphins? And here's what you got to worry about. Your secondary is bad. I'm just saying they are. They really they have been bad this year. They're ranked 28th and 30th in a lot of key metrics in the secondary. But here's the deal. I hope that Harbaugh doesn't say to himself, we're bad, so let me just stay in a base zone. No, I hope he does. I hope he doesn't use the same game plan he always uses on us. But I hope he says to himself, we're not that good in the secondary. Let's just bend but don't break. That's going to work in our favor. So I don't know what I don't know what your DC is going to deploy in that situation, but obviously you're going to want to cover up. You're not going to want Waddle or any of those other guys to get off. You're going to want to cover it up. but will we be able to get them out of the middle of the field is going to be the key. So we should be attacking it, but who do we have to attack it vertically? Waddle on occasions. So that works in the Ravens' favor. So it's going to be a lot of mind games in this one.
Absolutely. And I mean, in reality, why is our secondary struggling, or why has our secondary struggled so much? Because we don't have a pass rush. We don't have the guys that are going to get after the quarterback. We play the Lions.
I didn't know that.
Name one.
So y'all pass rush is no good? Oh, we winning. Oh, yeah, we
No. Wait. But we playing Tua, though. Come on now. Wait, there's a difference.
No,
there's a difference now. Wait, now, hold on. If we're going to put it in proper perspective, we playing Tua. I was going to say a pass rush, I'm talking we need to have, if we had more pressure on the quarterback up front, that's going to eliminate some of that pressure on the back end. And we just traded, my guy Odafe Owe.
That's the way I haven't checked. I've always just automatically assumed the Ravens gonna bring the pressure. They always tight up front. I didn't know y'all that it was that bad this year. So y'all losing this. Ooh,
no, we not. No, wait a minute, TD. Now see, there you go with the delusions again, TD. We're not losing this game.
Had y'all for a run, but no D line. Oh, y'all season over.
No. I say we still have a D line. We still do. It's just I think we can get pressure on a quarterback. The issue is with Tua, we're not going to be able to sack him anyway because you all have designed him to throw that ball. As soon as they say hike that ball, he's already gone. It's already out of his hands. He doesn't even survey the field. He don't even go through progressions or anything. He just, boom, okay, they're supposed to be there.
It's going to tire y'all out, y'all pass rush. They're going for nothing, fighting for nothing. Oh, it's already gone. That's one benefit to that. But if you see, here's the secret. And people like sometimes it's like common sense, like this is how you play Miami, but some coaches second guess it. I'm like, y'all are crazy. Like you're totally playing against it. He's gonna clog the middle of the field because that first read is gone. I don't have the right of way. Those corners, you know how y'all like to play aggressive in the flat.
Yeah.
The first read, y'all I already know he's gonna take it away. That's whenever the pass rush will matter. He's gonna have to figure that out.
He's not gonna figure it out between now and Thursday. He hasn't figured it out thus far, and I don't have any confidence that between the next 48 hours he's gonna have it signed, sealed, delivered. It's just not gonna work. He doesn't know. The thing is, I don't expect there to be a lot of sacks against Tua for the reason I just told you. I don't expect that. However, we do have guys that can get some pressure on him. And if we can get him uncomfortable, if we can make him have a long afternoon, that's all we need. Would a sack or two be nice? Of course it would. Absolutely. I'd never take that away. But with Tua Tagovailoa, it doesn't matter. You're probably not going to get that many sacks on him. So, hey, we'll split hairs there. All right, it's whatever. It's, 6 in one basket, half a dozen in the other. But the key is make him uncomfortable. And again, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it real uncomfortable for Mr. Tua. We do have a question for you, TD. This is from Jay the Six. Do you think the Ravens can pull off what the Panthers did against y'all?
Let me remember what the Panthers did against us. I mean, yeah. I mean, Baltimore has a better chance of doing it than the Panthers did. But I'm going to be honest. I don't know what version of Baltimore is showing up Thursday night. I've seen 3 different versions this year. 2 of them I don't like. So I don't know which version is showing up. If one of those 2 versions show up, man, we're going to win this game.
I will agree with you. There are 3 versions of the Ravens that I've seen. The first, game 1 against the Bills, where Lamar Jackson did his thing. He put up over 40 points. By any stretch of the imagination, we were supposed to win that game. But you know why we didn't? Because our defense wasn't there. We have a
turnover too now.
What'd you say?
That turnover too.
He had the 1 turnover. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to take that away.
The defense gave up too much.
But the defense is the reason we lost that game. So that's version 1. Then you have version 2, the Ravens with without Lamar Jackson. And
Mhm.
you've seen that over the last few weeks. We had Cooper Rush. Ooh, don't get me started with that. But we realized we realized that this was, this experiment needed to end. And last weekend we brought in Tyler Huntley, led us to
Mm.
victory. Third version of this Ravens team that you'll see that we've seen is where we don't play complementary football. And I guess maybe that's a spinoff of like version 1. You have the defense out there. They have been improving over the last few weeks, which
Mhm.
is good to see because that's what we needed. But we've always had this Ravens offense that was able to put up points. But
Yeah.
now we have a
Or
defense
vice
that's,
versa now.
or vice versa. So now we're trying to see, especially with Lamar Jackson coming back, we're trying to see if we can balance the scales a bit, because if we can, that's a dangerous Ravens team. Now, when
Yeah.
the scales are imbalanced, offense is doing great, defense is way down here, or vice versa. Defense is up here, offense can't get it together. Okay, that's not the Ravens that you need to fear. But the one you need to fear is hopefully the one we're going to see on Thursday, where you have a healthy Lamar Jackson back and you have a team where a defense has been improving. So that's what I'm hoping for. I did see another question. My guy from the Purple Rain podcast, not sure which member of the PRP this is, but TD, would you be willing to part ways with Jalen Phillips?
I'm gonna assume he's saying a trade with
Trade.
Baltimore, right?
I'm
Here's
assuming
what
so.
I didn't think about that. As far as Baltimore needing edge rushers, what's crazy? You all would be able to get Jalen Phillips if you really wanted to get him right now. There are guys on the team, Chubb, Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips is going to be due a contract soon. And that contract is going to be so team friendly because his injuries are the past. But the talent you're getting. He's like number 3 in the league in pressure, but he just not getting the sacks, but he disrupts like crazy. And those sacks will come with a better unit and a potential better defensive coaching staff. So you could get him. I'm going to be honest with you. If the Ravens were serious and they wanted to slightly overpay,
That's
you
not what
could
we
get
do.
him. Yeah, and I get that, but if you're really going after it now and need a pass rusher, I think he would be a guy that's worth taking the flyer because he's young, first round draft pick, just dealt with 2 back-to-back injuries that were devastating. But this guy's the ultimate fighter. Remember, he wasn't even going to be in the league. He was having concussions. He quit college football. I think he went working in a grocery store. Then he said, "You know what? I want to come back." Went to balled out NFL.
Yeah.
So he's a fighter. So I mean, I love Jalen Phillips. It's just he's for sale. You just got to offer a little bit more than the going value.
That's something the Ravens aren't doing. They're just real cheap, real stingy. They're not giving up
It
the
would
draft
actually
picks.
be a smart move, honestly, for Baltimore, though.
It
I'm not
would
gonna lie.
be. It would be.
That would be a massive move.
That would be a good one. We do have a question for you, TD. When are we going to clean house and fire everyone?
You
Enrique.
talking about
I'm
Dolphins?
assuming he's asking you about the Dolphins.
I mean, he
Yes.
could be talking about
No,
Baltimore.
he's
This
not talking
train
about that.
wreck.
No, Enrique not doing that. Enrique not talking about cleaning the house in the Baltimore
Oh,
Ravens.
okay.
Now,
No,
Enrique,
no,
that's not what he's doing.
we're cleaning it now. We just have to give our coach and general manager every game possible to turn it around before they're potentially fired. So if there's still a chance to make it, which right now we got to go 8-1, it's going to stay the course. But if we lose the Baltimore this week, we're highly likely going to lose the Buffalo the week after. That's when you might see a Monday firing.
I want to see the Bills again. I want to see them because again, we played them week 1. Don't get me started on our defensive coordinator, Zach Orr. I'm not going to do that. We don't have time for that. But listen, I got a question for you myself.
Yes.
TD, was Brian Flores right?
Why you doing
I know that's a loaded question, but I got to ask. I'm sorry. Inquiring minds want to know. Was he right when he said, don't draft Tua, draft Justin Herbert? I just want to know, in your opinion, was Brian Flores right?
So, well, here's what we know, and I'll be quick as I can to give you the backstory here. So I think the consensus now realize he actually he didn't say he didn't want Tua. He just never spoke against it. He may have not have been his guy. The reports are that, Jordan Love was his option, maybe Tristan Wirfs or whatever. And because we had 3 first-round picks. And And if we would have took those options, it would have been crazy, but we didn't.
Yeah.
But that's the backstory to that. As far as Flores being right, he was never out to have been a dispute whether it was really right or wrong. The reality is Flores wanted to run the team the way he wanted to run it, and there became like a struggle at the top or whatever. Then all the scandals came. You know, we were tanking, and they told him, "Man, hey man, give you $100,000 every game you lose." And he declined, and then he went out there and went on a. I mean, you talk about the worst roster in the NFL. We sold all of our great players. We had so many players starting that were undrafted that year, and we went on like a 7-game win streak at the end of the season with the no-name defense, is what we called it. But that caused a lot of tension within the locker room. And I mean, and when I say the locker room, let me just say the front office, general manager, owner, because they were in line to get, guess who? Joe Burrow. All he had to do was lose that, I think, Bengals game, or it was a game we had that was key. And Brian Flores was like, no, I'm winning. And we won. He was about winning. He did not take it. And then the relationship got even worse when they invited Tom Brady on the yacht with the owner and Brian Flores. Flores arrived, and the owner told him Tom Brady is on the way. We want to convince him to come to Miami. This is what's alleged that was in the lawsuit originally. And then Brian Flores walked off. He said no and walked off. And Brady ended up meeting and everything, but Brian Flores got out of there. Yeah. And that just made a rift between, the front office and the head coach. He didn't want to break NFL rules and do all that stuff. So he was right in a lot of things, but we never got to see the true potential play out.
Yeah, that was a very good question. And it is not my own. That is from my co-host, who is not here. He wanted me to make sure I asked that question. I do have another question. And then if you have any final questions, because we are about to land this plane, if you have any final questions for TD, make sure you go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. Should the Dolphins move on from Mike McDaniel?
I'm one of the rare Dolphin fans that say no. Here's the problem I have with Mike McDaniel. When you vouch for your quarterback, you got to own whatever the result is of him. So he's tied to Tua. That's my only gripe with Mike McDaniel. I think that's a bad decision. But I think this offense is limited. And I think McDaniel can do so much more, but he has to work out of the strength of his quarterback and his personnel and his bad O-line. So is he still a great coach that can, create and do things like that? The answer is yes. So I'm not really down on Mike. I wouldn't be mad if they moved on, but I wouldn't be terribly mad if they kept him either, because I like to see him pick his quarterback too.
But I mean, when I say move on from Mike McDaniel, my thought was you guys move on from Mike McDaniel and he go be a defensive coordinator, wherever he goes. But I was saying move on from Mike McDaniel, and then we would gift you John Harbaugh. Now tell me that's not something, Chad. Let me know. Wouldn't that be great? We just go ahead and leave him in Miami. He doesn't even have to come back. Don't worry about it. We'll send for his things and his family. We'll do that for you. We just leave him there for you.
You know what, Yolanda? Listen, I would actually take that.
No, you wouldn't. Or you know what? You would take it, but you'd give it right back. You'd be like, "Here you go." I'm sorry.
I know. Trust me. He has flaws, and you could see it in game.
Yeah.
But man, I know he gonna have us going to the playoffs at least, and we desperate over here. Y'all spoiled.
Yeah,
y'all are spoiled.
No.
You know what? That's privilege. That's privilege talking.
Oh.
You got a good coach, and it's like, oh, we can get rid of him. Man, he has y'all in the playoffs almost every year, unless Lamar hurt, obviously.
But that's the problem. And Danny, no, Mike McDaniel's not coming here. I was just saying he can go wherever he chooses, whatever other team he wants to go to.
He might make your offense better.
If he want to do that, be a coordinator or something like that. I mean, we'll talk about that. But I'm talking about head coach. No, he's not coming this way. But my point was, listen, with John Harbaugh, the thing is, he's a good coach, but I think his time is up. We don't want, and let me not say we. I don't want to just be competitive. I don't want to just go into the playoffs. Okay, yeah, we got us a coach that got us into the playoffs, but look at our roster since 2023, even before then. There is no principled reason why we didn't win a championship 2 years ago.
So,
None. What about
but
last year? We got
I
outcoached.
I don't think see this. I get what you're saying. I'm telling you, telling you, and I'm telling all Ravens fans this. Listen to me. You all are living in a state of privilege and don't even realize it. You all have won a Super Bowl within the last 20 years. Well, how long has it been for the Ravens?
A long time, since 2012.
Do you hear yourself? You just said a long time, 2012. And we're over here 1972.
Okay, okay.
Like, the Ravens fans, I'm telling you, start putting it into perspective. It is hard to win a Super Bowl. So if you're competing for one every year, that is exciting. Maybe it may only be once every 12 years you get over the hump. It's that hard to win it. Y'all are in a great place. I understand he may mess it up sometimes, but let me say this. It could be worse. It could be and for a while too, for a long time. I think y'all should just keep on building on to what you're doing, trying to figure out the perfect nucleus. And maybe he even gets better.
If
Y'all
he hasn't
spoiled.
gotten better yet, I'm not holding my breath for that. Listen, my thing is, he can do well somewhere else. I do believe that you can overstay your welcome. I think, sometimes, you go to somebody's house and you stay there too long. It's like, they don't want to tell you, hey, you get up out my house. But, they start looking like, when you going to leave? They can give you those subtle hints. Like, you have to read the room. And with John Harbaugh, that's not to say he couldn't do well somewhere else. That's fine. Go ahead. But I just think with a talent like Lamar Jackson, with a roster that we have with Derrick Henry, and I didn't even talk about DeAndre Hopkins, but with players like that, there's no way why we should not have had a Super Bowl within the last couple of years. And I know what you say, TD. It's hard to win a Super Bowl out here. Well, go ask Andy Reid. He's doing it.
But they're in their era. And Patriots were in their era.
Right.
The problem with Baltimore and Buffalo, y'all have been using the last 15 years because you've been one of the great teams in the last 15, right? But y'all have been using this time to be the Charles Barkleys of the league. And but what you have to understand is that Jordan is Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan is Jordan. Can you get over the hump and get that one? I don't know. That's where it starts. Once you get the first one, then your fortune is a lot better. But can you get over the hump? Baltimore Ravens. But I agree with you. A lot of the problems sometimes in the biggest game, biggest moment is that the coach.
Yeah. And I
The
think
way
that's
he
it.
handles late game execution too. I just don't like it.
I don't like it either. There's a lot that I don't like about it, but we don't have time tonight. But last questions for you, TD. Who's winning this game, and what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and just hoorah my team and just give them the win just because. Okay, I think this game will be 24-23. It's gonna be a thriller. We're gonna stick in there as long as we can. And at the very end, game-winning field goal. Dolphins win 24-23. Ladies and gentlemen, Tua Tagovailoa, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. You get them once. A-Chain, $125, 2 touchdowns by A-Chain. Yeah, man. And Waddle probably has about 87 in this one. And we coast and we still fighting for the playoffs. And Yolanda's doing mock drafts next week.
Hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, the delusions that are just going. There's no. So TD, most of the people who hang out with me, they know I'm a lawyer by profession. You got to bring evidence. You have not brought any evidence with you today to substantiate the conclusion. You have made zero evidence.
Lamar Jackson, fresh off of injury.
is still better than
We
anything that
don't
you
know
have
what
seen in
version.
Miami in the
We
last
don't
50
know what
years. But I'm
version
going
of
to move
Lamar
on.
we gonna get.
I'm going to move on. Let us know real quick in the chat who's winning. What's your score prediction? Me, look, we're playing to a turn the ball. I meant Tagovailoa. That's what we're playing. And I got to keep it in proper perspective. Although Lamar Jackson is coming off an injury, when Lamar tells you, I'm feeling great, I'm going to believe what Lamar said. And he said it today. He's like, I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go. I'm all set. I don't have any doubt in my mind that Lamar Jackson is going to come out on Thursday night and wow the world. I don't have any doubt in my mind. So for that, knowing that, and one thing, when Lamar is not there, it's a difference. When Lamar comes back on the field, the players, the energy, the vibes, everything is so much more. It's so much more intense. And Lamar means business. Yeah, we lost 5 games. I get that. But Lamar is saying, we're going to start right here. We're going to start right now, and let's move forward. With that, I'll say, we're playing the Dolphins. I don't sleep on any team in this NFL league. So I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think the Ravens are going to come out and hand the Dolphins yet another L for the season. I think the game is, like I said, it's not going to be particularly close. I'm going to call it maybe somewhere in the mid 30s. I'll say 35, 36 to, I'm going to be gracious. In the abundance of my graciousness, give you all 17 points. There, you have it. Book it. Somebody clip that and send it to me. But anyway, family, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. TD, thanks for joining the show. Please let everyone know where they can find you and what you have going on social media.
You can find me on TD Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Phins spelled Phins. I did have one question for you though, Yolanda.
You got it. You got it.
So, when you all were not giving Lamar Jackson his contract, when he had a transition tag, if the Dolphins would have applied the transition tag and given him a fully guaranteed contract, would Lamar be a Raven today?
I'm going to give you the lawyer answer. It depends. That depends on several factors, right? I think Lamar, and he said it, and Lamar's, I've never met Lamar, so let me put that out there. It's not like, oh yeah, I talk on the phone with Lamar. No, he seems to be and has presented himself throughout the years that he's been here, a man of his word. When he tells you something, he pretty much means it. And he said all along, I want to stay a Raven. I don't see, I obviously emotions and thoughts and feelings were like, oh man, he could go somewhere else. But when all of these other teams had an opportunity to sign him, all of these other teams out there who needed quarterbacks, your team included, because you already saw the writing on the wall back then. You knew Tua was, just like you said, good enough to be good enough, but not to take you to the next level. When you had your opportunity, when all of these other teams could have, but they didn't, the one team that did was the Baltimore Ravens. And because of that, I don't think Lamar Jackson wanted to go anywhere else. I think he wanted to stay here. He said on draft night, I'm coming to Baltimore and I'm about to bring them a championship. They're going to get several. They're going to get many championships out of me. And I believe him. So that starts now. And, can it happen this year? Let's hope and pray. We kind of dug ourselves in a hole with these 5 losses, but no, it's not. If you take a peek into our schedule, we played our toughest opponents the first few games.
You'll see Thursday night. It's over.
Right, we play the Dolphins. If anybody from your division gives me a little bit of concern, who we have remaining on the schedule, it's the Patriots. It's the Patriots. That's it. That's it. If we were to play the Bills again. But again, and I can't even really say that I'm not going to stick by that. Like the Patriots really scare me because you do have Drake May, who's inexperienced. One thing about Lamar Jackson, he has that experience. So I'll think more about the Patriots as we get closer to it. But yeah, we're playing the Dolphins. This is a win for us. This is a definite win.
I'll see you next week. I will see you next week. All right.
And everybody, please go over. Make sure that you subscribe to TD Phins Talk, Phins Talk right here on YouTube. And when he loses, when
No.
he spazzes out during the game on Thursday, because he'll be streaming the game, when he goes and starts to throw all of his equipment all over and he gets up
I'm gonna be
hollering, he's
cheering.
mad, he's fussing at his team, just put a smiling emoji in the chat for him. But anyway, TD, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
Listen,
for having me.
awesome talking with you, and hopefully we'll get you back on one day
Please.
soon. I mean, I don't see where the Dolphins going into the playoffs, but you never know how life works. You just never know how life works out. But I really would
We
like
can
to.
do mock drafts together. It's okay.
Well, you'll have a seat at that table much sooner than we will. Okay,
Oh,
you'll
no,
be
we
sitting
gonna
there
see
within the next few
Thursday night.
days. For us, it's gonna be sometime in February before
Oh,
we start
man.
that. Anyway, we do have our first super chat, Nigerian Nightmare. He wants to tell you. Thank you for the $5 donation. We appreciate it. He wants to tell you, TD Phins Talk. Pay attention, because write this down.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Go Ravens. Family, you all take care. Stay safe, and we'll see you very soon.